afternoon, cherubs. I hope you're all well and safe. Thank you for joining me on this Wisdom Wednesday, where I have chosen to share a general introduction to the seven chakras. As part of my Angel Reiki healing course through the Centre of Excellence, a module was dedicated to the chakras and how to provide and direct healing to each of them. But me being me, this ended up leaving me with more questions than answers. So I have been conducting my own research through websites and articles online and looking at books, and I am learning a lot. But the best way I learn is by sharing. So I thought I would take this opportunity to share with you guys some of my knowledge and findings so far. If you're familiar with holistic therapies and meditations and spirituality, then a lot of this you will already know. But if you are brand new or you have curiosities, then I hope this gives you some information that you can take away today. Equally, if you find that throughout this it raises questions or there's areas you'd like to know more about, then do drop me a message or comment. And if I don't know the answer, then I will endeavour to find it out and bring it to you at a later date. So let's get started. So why do we need to know about the chakras? Well, it's simple, really. There is a belief that our physical, our mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being can all be linked to the health and care of our seven chakras. If you think of our body as a machine, all the systems sync to help each other function, and if one is functioning less or more than it should be, the rest of the system becomes inefficient. And this is the same with the chakras. If one is blocked or they become unbalanced, then this has an impact on our entire system. And this can present itself in many ways, emotional, mental, but usually the way we start to recognize that something is wrong is because it presents itself as various physical illnesses or discomfort. So it's important to think about your body and how it's responding, because it's always trying to tell you something. So what are the chakras and why do we need to know about them? Well, I'm going to get up my trusty slide to help me. And we each have seven chakras. You may have seen images like this before, or around in the spiritual world, or if you circulate at spirit fairs or things like that, or even just online, you will have seen images very, very similar to this. And it just highlights the seven chakras, which are energy points within our bodies and align from the top of your head all the way to the bottom of the spine. It's believed that they can absorb and flow spiral light and energy when they are open. So what have I learned about the chakras that will be useful or interesting to you? Well, the first thing I have learned is there is an abundance of information around the chakras online, and each one tells you something different. So I honestly believe and think that this is something I will be learning new things about all of the time. So how can I take what I've learned so far to give you the basics? Well, I think to share what each chakra is called, where it's located, and how each one can influence us is a really good place to start. It's certainly where I began. So the chakras are usually identified from the bottom up. So you should really start at the end. So we'll begin with the root chakra, which is at the base of the spine. It's the tailbone, it's connected to the coccyx. Its energy and light is red, and it's called the root chakra because it's the chakra that keeps you rooted or grounded, and is the one that keeps us stable and is linked to survival. When we have everything we need in terms of food and water and shelter and money, this is when we feel stable and we feel at our most secure. It also linked to trust in ourselves, others, and in our divine purpose, in our spiritual journeys. So when these things are a worry or a concern for us, then this could unbalance or block the root chakra. This can cause great stress, anxiety, worry, which then in turn causes physical side effects such as problems going to the toilet, or lower body aches and pains such as back, legs, and feet. And it can also link to changes in appetite, which then comes with a list of its own physical issues. So these are all things to be looking out for. And is often linked to that root chakra. We shall move on now to the sacral chakra, which is orange in colour. This is positioned around or slightly below your belly button area. It's the second chakra and is mostly linked to emotions, intuition. You know that saying, trust your gut? I think that's partly where it comes from. It's also linked to sensuality and creativity. And it's also linked to sex and fertility as well as relationships. So you can see it's responsible for a great deal in terms of our well-being. So when this is blocked, it can cause several things. It can cause a loss of our libido. It's been linked to fertility issues or trouble with pregnancies. You can feel emotional or suffer from irrational emotional outbursts. And it can also lead to trouble forming or maintaining healthy relationships. So the third chakra is the solar plexus, located in the upper abdomen, and it is yellow in colour. This one is a big one for me because it's linked to a sense of control, and anyone who knows me knows that I need to feel like I'm in control. It also links to confidence and particular thoughts and feelings such as self-esteem and positive mental health. This chakra is more often than not affected by external factors and can quite quickly become unbalanced. And this can lead to energy imbalance and emotional imbalances, and that sense of being out of control, and brings with it a lot of fear. Physically, it can also contribute to anxiety and the physical side effects that come with that. So those heart palpitations, those breathing issues, they have been known to all be connected. The fourth chakra is the heart chakra, and surprisingly, it's actually green in colour, not your stereotypical pink or red. So the heart chakra is located in the centre of the chest and is linked to all things you would expect it to be, like love and joy and compassion and emotions and feelings, but it's also linked to our physical systems such as the immune system and for hormone production. So this being blocked can link to emotional issues such as a lack of forgiveness, inability to get over grief, friction in love affairs, but like the others, it can also impact your physical well-being. And because it's linked to the immune system, this can come in many forms, particularly regular illness, or in its most basic sense, fatigue. I'm going to sneeze, I'm so sorry. Nope, gone. The fifth chakra is the throat chakra, which sits at the base of the throat here. It's blue in colour, and its simplest role is to help us with communication and speaking our own truths. It's also linked to creativity and the ability to express ourselves with confidence and clarity. And because of its position when blocked, it can have an impact on how you communicate, but on a physical level, it's been associated with thyroid issues and the positive function of this gland and the impact this has on the rest of the body. Also, for those of you who carry tension in your shoulders or in your upper back, all across here when you're stressed or feeling anxious, this can also be a physical side effect of the chakra not functioning properly. The sixth chakra is the third eye chakra, indigo in colour, and it is positioned on your forehead between your eyes. Now, this chakra is linked to your ability to make decisions, intuition, imagination, and physically linked to the pineal gland, which can influence your sleep patterns. So if you're finding that your sleep patterns are out of whack, or you're having trouble falling asleep or staying asleep, sometimes this can be linked to the third eye chakra. It's also considered as the way clairvoyants and psychics and mediums receive their communication with the spirit realm. Because we're not seeing with the physical elements, but the spiritual energies, it's believed that this chakra is linked to non-physical senses. When not functioning properly, it can also lead to overthinking and an inability to see what is right in front of you. And then finally, we have the crown chakra. Violet or white in colour. There's much research that suggests it presents as both. It is located at the very top of the head, and is linked to our ability to accept energy into the body, but also a sense of higher being. It's suggested that it's physically connected to the brain, so linking with the pituitary, the pineal, and the hypothalamus glands, which suggests it's physically responsible for the whole nervous system. And when clear, this allows us to feel a sense of peace and well-being because we're open to and receptive to all the energies of the higher powers. But in simpler terms, when it's imbalanced or blocked, we can have physical and mental side effects, such as being in our own head too much, not being able to see outside of our own universe, overthinking, big one for me. Headaches and migraines, or even a sense of disconnection from your own body. All of this can come from an imbalance or a blockage in your crown chakra. So there is so much more to each chakra. I've literally just hit the basics on this. I've just covered the bare minimum. And just to give you a little bit of insight into my findings and research so far, but also I felt like when I started out on this course, I didn't know anything. I kind of had an idea of the chakras, but I didn't know what they were called and I didn't know what they were linked to. And I felt like I really should have just known the basics, if nothing else. So hopefully me sharing that with you has helped a little bit. And there is so much more out there in terms of how the chakras are connected to other things. So there's various healing methods, meditations, certain crystals that are linked to each chakra based on color and energy. So, and there's also essential oils that are linked to each chakra. So I am going to continue doing my research and find out more and share it with you guys if this is of any interest to you at all. Also, in the meantime, I've put together a short guided meditation for you to try out to help you open up and cleanse and heal those chakras, which will be published on YouTube later today. And when it is, I will share it to the Facebook page and I will post the link to Instagram. But I'd love for you guys to give it a go and let me know how you get on with it and any feedback you may have or any experiences that you have that you want to share with me during this meditation. It is only short. I think it's about 12 minutes long, maybe a little bit longer than that. But definitely give it a try and do get in touch if you feel you want to share any of it with me. So yeah, that's about it from me today. Thanks so much for tuning in. I see that we've had quite a few people pop in, which is fab. Do write me any comments if you have any questions or there's a particular chakra you'd like me to look at next time, or you have any questions or comments. Bear in mind that this is kind of new, Wisdom Wednesday. This is me going live and having a go and sharing stuff with you. So do drop me a comment or a message if there's something that you would like me to go over or go back to or go over in much more detail, or you have questions linking to any of the information I have shared with you today. So yeah, I will go away and leave you to the rest of your day. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and to get notifications of all of my videos. And thanks again, and love and light to you all. I shall have a look through these comments a bit later on and see if I can find any answers to your questions for the next time I'm on. Love and light.